Before we dive into today's tale, if you love touching real-life stories, deeply moving emotional experiences, and insights that show us the profound beauty of human bonds, please hit that subscribe button. Your encouragement allows me to continue sharing meaningful stories with you each week. Now, let's explore today's narrative, a journey about recovery, surprising kinship, and how fate occasionally delivers family through the most unexpected doorways. For the greater part of my existence, I was certain my greatest chapters had already been written. I assumed my tale had drifted into its closing pages, serene, routine, and softly dimming like twilight hues melting into night. My name is Mara, a former nurse, and at 62, I had accepted a reality where mornings arrived calmly and evenings passed in stillness. My home sat solitary on the outskirts of a drowsy town where branches swayed leisurely, as though time itself moved with greater patience here. My beloved husband departed this world 5 years prior. His absence felt like watching an entire cosmos vanish. The quietness that settled into every corner afterward wasn't merely silence. It carried weight, density, and endless echo of the joy and tenderness that once breathed life into these walls. I occupied myself however I could manage. Each dawn brought me to my garden, where I'd kneel among the earth, absorbing the sun's warmth across my shoulders while witnessing fresh blossoms emerge, giving me reason to continue. Each afternoon discovered me beside the window, tea steaming beside me, a novel resting in my hands, while birdsong floated through parted drapes. My existence held tranquility, certainly, but occasionally it felt excessively hushed. Certain moments made the stillness press against my ribs, stirring yearning for the voice forever beyond reach. Yet gardens flourish, birds perform their melodies, and literature transports you toward distant realms. These elements dulled the sharp edges of my solitude. I never imagined everything would transform, not through tempests or shocking revelations, but through an ordinary telephone call from someone practically unknown to me, yet connected through the man who had held my heart. The evening was Tuesday, when amber light saturates the heavens just before darkness deepens into sapphire. I stood rinsing my teacup when my phone vibrated against the counter. Unknown caller. I wavered, yet upon answering, recognition struck me despite years of silence separating us. "Hello, Mama Mara." The greeting carried uncertainty, caution threading through each syllable. "Keen," I responded, genuinely startled. Keen was my stepson, though that label always seemed excessively rigid given how seldom our paths had truly crossed. He'd already reached adulthood when his father and I wed, and even afterward, city life claimed him. Our exchanges remained courteous, occasionally tender, but distance persisted. Circumstances hadn't granted us opportunity. His tone wavered faintly. I hope this isn't an imposition." "Not whatsoever," I replied warmly. "Is something troubling you?" Silence followed, the pregnant pause someone requires when summoning courage toward vulnerability. "I've lost my position," he finally confessed, "and circumstances have grown challenging. Housing costs, expenses, everything's mounting. I'm fighting to stay afloat, but I wondered whether I might stay with you temporarily, only until I regain my footing." His voice fractured near the conclusion, and something within me melted. He sounded adrift, nothing like the assured young man from family occasions past. "Oh, Keen," I murmured. "You needn't even request permission. You're welcome here however long necessary. This house holds ample space." Relief flooded his response immediately, like someone finally exhaling after holding breath far too long. "Thank you, Mama Mara, truly thank you." When our conversation concluded, I surveyed the silent house surrounding me. For the first occasion in years, change felt imminent. Dawn arrived earlier than typical, strange butterflies of nervousness and anticipation dancing through my stomach. Such extended time had passed since sharing my dwelling with another soul that uncertainty clouded expectations. Would comfort find him here? Would he recognize me as family? Would these walls feel oppressively silent? I scrubbed the spare bedroom thoroughly, exchanging aged linens for crisp sheets, throwing windows wide to welcome sunlight, and positioning a modest flower arrangement on the nightstand. The room needed to radiate warmth, invitation, sanctuary. By afternoon, everything appeared lovely, unpretentious yet homely. Still, as evening descended, restlessness possessed me. Years had elapsed since footsteps besides mine had echoed through these halls. I hoped he'd feel belonging rather than mere guest status. When automobile sounds reached the driveway, my pulse quickened. I smoothed my apron and stepped outside. Keen emerged from an aging vehicle, not dilapidated but clearly weathered through service. He appeared taller than memory suggested, shoulders broader. He carried himself with that particular assurance young men possess when believing the universe remains theirs to claim. Yet something delicate inhabited his gaze. Exhaustion that seemed misplaced there. "Mama Mara," he greeted with genuine warmth, approaching swiftly. Before reaction arrived, his arms encircled me in grateful embrace. I reciprocated, though somewhat tentatively. Considerable time had passed since anyone had held me this way. "Welcome," I managed. "I hope the journey wasn't taxing." "It was manageable," he replied, relief evident. "Thank you for opening your home." "Oh, nonsense. Family supports family," I stated, though the term felt novel and strange between us. He transported his belongings inside, scanning the living area with soft appreciation. "It's peaceful here," he observed. "Really peaceful." "I hope that's positive," I ventured. "It is," he confirmed gently. "I think peaceful is exactly what I need currently." Initial days unfolded quietly yet comfortably. Keen occupied most hours in the guest room, computer open, pursuing employment opportunities. He participated in virtual interviews, refined his credentials, occasionally stepping outside for private conversations. I resisted hovering, but hearing another presence moving through hallways brought unexpected comfort. Even minor details felt transformed. 2 chairs moving at dinner rather than one. Soft murmur of dual voices in the kitchen instead of emptiness. Faint masculine cologne mingling with my garden herbs fragrance. Initially, his manner remained respectfully formal. "Thank you. Good morning. The meal is excellent." But gradually that stiffness dissolved. Sometimes he'd linger in the kitchen, leaning casually against counters while sharing his day. Other occasions found him seated opposite me at dinner, smiling between mouthfuls, inquiring about my history, something nobody had done in ages. Incrementally, our exchanges grew easier, warmer, almost as though we were discovering each other for the first time. Near midnight, I awakened to subtle creaking from my bedroom entrance. Initially, dreams seemed responsible, but consciousness revealed a figure in the doorway, tall, shoulders drooping, silhouette softened by dim corridor light. "Keen?" My voice emerged thick with sleep. He swallowed audibly, then spoke quietly. I couldn't sleep." I shifted upright slightly. "Is something wrong?" He wavered, that particular hesitation when someone debates whether their emotions carry excessive weight for sharing. Eventually, he entered and settled on my bed's edge, tension radiating from his frame. "I just feel directionless," he murmured. Everything shifted so rapidly. One moment I possessed employment, plans, a future, and now I can't identify which path I should follow. His voice trembled faintly. Vulnerability from someone straining desperately against tears. Witnessing his state stirred profound ache within me. He wasn't merely a temporary resident. He was family, not through biology, but through the connection life had unexpectedly woven between us. I touched his arm gently, something years had prevented. "Keen," I said softly. "Life doesn't crumble because you've failed. Life crumbles so it can reconstruct you into something more resilient. You're not directionless. You're simply beginning anew." He met my gaze, truly met it, and for the first occasion since arrival, I watched his defenses completely fall. "Thank you, Mama Mara," he whispered hoarsely. Then he rose, murmured a gentle goodnight, and departed. But that moment, that quiet exchange, fundamentally transformed our understanding of each other. Subsequently, our rhythms naturally intertwined. Laughter increased. Conversations deepened. We exchanged stories, his about job prospects and aspirations toward metropolitan opportunities, mine about countless patients whose existences had touched my own. I hadn't recognized how profoundly I'd missed extended conversation with someone who listened actively, who cared genuinely, who truly valued my presence. And Keen, he seemed equally hungry for that connection. One evening he returned home with eyes gleaming. "I believe I've received an offer," he announced breathlessly. His elation illuminated the entire space, and pride swelled within my chest. We ordered delivery, celebrated properly, and discussed possibilities his future held. For the first occasion since my husband's passing, the house felt authentically alive with laughter, warmth, and hope. Thank you for experiencing this story. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe for additional heartwarming narratives.